Hello, I'm Daniel Shanes, Chief Judge of the 19th Judicial Circuit in Lake County. I'm pleased to share with you this video to assist self-represented litigants in family law cases in completing a financial affidavit. A financial affidavit is usually required in divorce cases and cases involving child support. If you've been asked to fill out a financial affidavit and are unsure where to start or how to fill it out, this video will help you break it down step by step.
You may be wondering, what is a financial affidavit? The basic purpose of a financial affidavit is to inform the court about your finances and expenses. This is a very important document so that the court has all the information on what you owe and what you own, so the judge can make decisions about things like child support, maintenance, and dividing assets and debts. In Lake County, we have a local court rule that governs financial affidavits, which is Rule 4-3.02. You can look up the rule online or access it at the law library, but we will go over it here in simpler terms. The first thing you will need is a financial affidavit form. You can get a physical copy in the law library located on the first floor of the courthouse at 18 North County Street in Waukegan. It is also available online through illinoiscourts.gov, where you can fill it out on the computer or print it out yourself. You may want to review the Getting Started and How to Complete a Financial Affidavit documents, which provide basic information and instructions. The links are being shown on the screen now. Finally, Illinois Legal Aid Online has an easy forms program, which is a guided interview that will help you create the form by asking you a series of questions similar to a self-guided tax software program.
In addition to the form itself, you will also need some of your own financial documents for this process. Specifically, you need to attach your 3 most recent pay stubs, 2 most recent federal and state tax returns, including a business return if you have one, with all attachments like W-2s and 1099s and schedules, and 3 months of any bank statements in your name alone or with anyone else. Keep these documents with you while you fill out the form, because the form asks for information that only these documents will contain. Other documents and information that may be useful to have as you are completing the form are your monthly expenses or bills, a list of your assets such as bank accounts, cars, house, and retirement accounts, a list of your debts and liabilities such as car payments and credit card debt, and your health insurance information. If you own a business, you will need similar information: your bank account statement so you can determine the income you received, and you will need your receipts for all of your expenses such as your rent, inventory, and supplies.
This is called the case caption. It asks for the county your case is in, the petitioner's name or person who started the case, and the respondent's name along with the case number. You can find this information at the top of any of your court documents, such as a court order or the original petition that started your case. The beginning of the form asks for your basic information. There are notes and instructions in the left-hand side of the page to help you along. Then the more detailed financial questions follow. One important question is how often you receive your checks. Do you get paid weekly or bi-weekly, for example? Having this information will help you to calculate everything on a monthly basis, which is what this form requires. Before moving on, it is important that you know how to calculate monthly. The How to Complete a Financial Affidavit form found on the Illinois Courts website has an example of this calculation. Get out your calculator because you will need to do a little math. You will also need to understand the difference between gross income and net income before going forward. Your gross income is what you are paid before any deductions such as taxes and health insurance are taken out. Your net income is the amount you receive after the deductions. After figuring out your gross income, you will then be asked to find out how much is taken out in deductions. Make sure you know how to read your pay stub or other proof of income document so that you can find this information. In the generic pay stub, you will see that the gross income received is $400 and the net income received is $304.30. Remember, this form requires monthly calculations, so refer back to the calculations earlier to figure out how much is taken out monthly, not out of each paycheck. The generic pay stub is a weekly paycheck. It is also important that you know where to find information on your tax documents. For example, did you file as married or single last year? And what exemptions did you claim? You will also need to know how much you owed or how much was refunded to you in the last 2 years. After filling out your income information, you will be asked about your expenses. One common question is, what if my income and expenses vary? If that is the case, use the most common or average amount. Remember, if you do not have to pay a bill every month, you will have to do the math to make sure you are giving a monthly amount. For example, if you pay car insurance every 6 months, you will need to divide the amount owed every 6 months by 6 to get the monthly amount.
After your expenses, you will be asked about debts and your assets. Some of the assets will ask for the fair market value. Fair market value is how much the asset could be reasonably sold for. To discover the fair market value, you may need to visit a car valuing website or a real estate company website to find similar homes in your area. Be sure to sign, print your name, and date the form at the bottom, and understand that by doing so, you are promising that everything in the form is true and that making a false statement on this form would be perjury, which has serious penalties, meaning that you can get in trouble for lying on this form. Now that you have signed, you are done filling out this document, and at 10 pages, that was no easy task. However, there are still a few more things to do. Don't forget to attach the required documents to your completed form. Then make 2 copies. 1 copy is for the judge in your case, and 1 copy is for the other side. You should keep the original for yourself. You will have to send these copies to the other side by email or regular mail. In Lake County, you can provide these to the judge by mailing them to their attention at the courthouse or by dropping them off at court administration. Do not e-file your financial affidavit and attached documents. You may have gotten used to e-filing everything in your case, but you do not want this sensitive information as part of the court record. Instead, you will only e-file a confirmation that you sent the documents to the other side. In Lake County, we have a specific form for this called a Certificate of Compliance that can be found on the Lake County Circuit Clerk website. A more general proof of delivery form found on the Illinois Court's website can also be used. This document tells the court that you filled out the financial affidavit and sent it to the other side and the date that you sent it. Again, the proof of delivery should be the only document e-filed. Once you have sent the documents to the other side and the judge and e-filed the Certificate of Compliance or proof of delivery, you have completed this process. If you have additional questions, please see these resources.